Scold pre-first. Progress test 2. Listening.
So, Jessie, you've just returned from a big adventure.
Yeah, I suppose you could call it that. It was certainly a lot different from spending a year in the classroom.
It seems a strange thing to do. I mean, why did your parents suddenly decide to take you and your brothers on a trip round the world?
It wasn't exactly a sudden decision, you know. They'd been planning it for years, and then it just seemed the right time. I think they wanted to give us first-hand experience of things you can't get from books or TV programmes. You know, things like the amazing smells after the rains in Africa, the incredible light you get in the desert, and the real experience of meeting and making friends with people from different cultures. That sort of thing.
I see what you mean. And you chose to fly to some places, didn't you?
Well, Dad had planned to take a camper van, but then we thought that it would be more practical to fly between major destinations because a camper van would take us ages to get anywhere. Then we used different kinds of public transport. In some places, it was cheap, overloaded buses, and once it was camels. Mum panicked a bit on hers, but I thought it was great fun.
I imagine there were a lot of highlights. Can you think of one that the whole family liked?
That's a tricky one to answer. We all like different things. For me, riding an elephant was a magical moment. I also really enjoyed finding out about local customs, like the Hindu festivals. Matthew, he's a lot younger than me. His dream was to swim with dolphins. As for Nathan, well, he's only 2 and I don't know how much he'll remember, but he absolutely loved the Chinese New Year celebrations with all the dragons in the streets. In fact, I think that was a favourite with all of us. The atmosphere was electric.
I'm sure there were some scary moments. Any particularly close shaves? Like when Matthew went whitewater rafting?
Yes, that was in New Zealand. We were travelling really fast on the raft and suddenly it tilted and Matthew fell into the water. It was terrifying. Mum was screaming and Dad nearly jumped into the water to go after him, but the water was so rough that we couldn't see anything. Then we caught sight of him in the calm water ahead. He'd been carried past us. Luckily, he was wearing his life jacket and wasn't hurt. In fact, he was quite thrilled by the whole event. He tells everyone about his narrow escape now.
Quite a lot of people have criticised your parents for taking you out of school for a year. What do you think was the educational value of the trip?
I think it's been a wonderful opportunity. Matthew and I still had classes with my parents every week to keep up to date with maths and stuff. But what we learnt during that year will definitely help us in the future and stay with us all forever.